Hello everyone, welcome to the moon in the 12th house of your chart. Video is good for you if the moon is 12 houses away from your ascendant. And you can also use this in a Western chart. Just make sure you have sign for house system. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below. Let's begin. Firstly, what exactly is the 12th house in your chart? It's the furthest away from the ascendant. It's a house representing foreign lands, foreign places, foreign people, everything to do with things which seem different to you, things which you do not really understand. It's got everything to do with foreign travel, going to live in foreign lands as well, because it is 4th away from 9th house and 9th away from the 4th house of home. At a deeper level, 12th house represents subconscious mind. Just like 4th house, 8th house, it shows those deep fears, phobias and anxieties which are even hidden from ourselves, causing us mental distress. It's also the house of large organizations such as asylums, prisons, schools, hospitals, etc., which are a world unto themselves outside of the normal run of society. The 12th house is connected to the bed and to our sleeping patterns, even our dream life, definitely. And of course, bed pleasures, sexuality is shown here. This house has a lot to do with the spouse also. On a much higher level, this is a house of our final liberation from this material world, rarely achieved but known as moksha. And indeed, the state we attain after death is also shown by this house. And who then is the moon? The moon is known as Chandra in the Vedic system. He is the most gentle of all the grahas. He has no enemies. He is friendly to all. He rules the 4th house of your chart, the mother, the land, the country, and the home. He gives, therefore, a feeling of belonging, security, inclusivity, and happiness. He represents a DNA program in every cell of our body from which we will carry out our karmas in this life. He is also responsible for our food and our nourishment, indeed for the very air that we breathe. He therefore represents the very health of our body and our longevity. He is, of course, Manas, the mind. Therefore, he has everything to do with our impressions of life, our memories, and indeed our emotions. So what's going to happen when the sensitive moon has gone into the deep and mysterious 12th house? Well, the first thing is a sign is going to show the karmas you are carrying. Makes all the difference to your actual experiences here. So please check out the video on my channel, Moon Karmas All Signs. I will link it below and at the end of the video. In addition, your moon is a chart unto itself called Chandra Lagna, the moon chart, where you see all the position of the planets from your moon and judge your karmas. Very, very important for your destiny. Check the link below to the moon chart, and I will also link that at the end. So how will the sensitive moon feel in this super sensitive 12th house? Well, not entirely comfortable, that's for sure. Why? This is the house of Shani. Shani Saturn is Karaka here. He is enemy to the moon. So the moon feels restricted and uncomfortable really in this house. You see, moon is emotion, and moon in this 12th house does not feel free to truly express authentic emotion. Now, obviously, sign makes a big difference. In Saturn signs like Capricorn, Aquarius, this can mostly be the case. Or in a Martian sign like Aries, Scorpio, there can be conflicting emotions and even outbursts. Someone with this moon 12th house can be terribly moody. Moods go up and down, and this can definitely impact relationships. It's certainly quite a secretive aspect here to this moon 12th house. Doesn't mean that you are dishonest in any way. No, it's not that. But you keep feelings hidden because you are deeply vulnerable when your feelings become exposed to other people. You don't feel truly safe about it. But this moon is tuned into the subconscious mind, your own subconscious mind and other people's subconscious mind. You can even read people's thoughts sometimes when you have the moon here. And the moon is tender-hearted. You are extremely empathetic. One of the best things about this moon 12th house, you care about other people's sufferings deeply, and even suffering of non-human beings, animals, because moon aspects the 6th house. The moon is also quite creative here because the imagination has gone to the highest level possible. Therefore, very often novelists, writers, creative people who are tapping into their deep imagination get tremendous help and inspiration from this moon. It's a fantastic position for psychics, occult study, and definitely for astrology. There's a very deep intuition with this moon. Solutions to your problems just pop up into your mind all of a sudden without prior knowledge. Why? Once again, because you are deeply connected to the subconscious realms and your dream life is very, very vivid, often showing you the way forward. But to tap into this deep intuition you have been definitely gifted with, moon needs peace and quiet. Moon needs calm. The mind is the moon. The mind needs to be quiet. But when moon is afflicted, 12th house, by Mars, Rahu, Ketu, Saturn, that can be difficult to achieve. Which is why it's so important for everybody with this moon 12th house, no matter how placed by sign, how aspected, must have time alone every day, must have peace, quiet, contemplation, meditation, definitely, and a deep spiritual path has to be found. Moon will never be satisfied here unless you find some spiritual practice which you can follow on a daily basis. Doesn't have to be formal religious system, but moon is in the actual house of moksha, so he is seeking liberation here. He is seeking way out. Moon 12th house is not happy with mundane reality, and when you try to make yourself happy with it, force yourself to be, this is how moon becomes disturbed. So you haven't got to cut yourself off from life, but you do have to have periodic times of peace, contemplation, meditation, etc. Now, moon is, of course, mother. Being in this house of loss, there can be actual loss of the mother in extreme circumstances, but generally it's just loss of closeness with her, or some difficulties connecting to her. She can have her own problems, even addiction, psychological problems, rarely as well. So there is some disturbance in the mother bond. Now, moon is generally home life, so being in this 12th house, there can be restlessness finding peaceful home throughout your life. You are constantly thinking, should I move? Should I be somewhere else? And this can cause some disturbances into your domestic peace. Now, the moon is in the house of foreign residence. Should you move abroad? Well, here's the thing. You must confirm with 12th house lord, 4th house lord, because moon in itself here is restless, changing its mind. Sometimes foreign lands do not help you settle. You find disturbance there, especially when there are malefics afflicting the moon. So moon in itself, 12th house, does not always show foreign residence. However, moon is about traveling. So being in this 12th house, especially with good aspects, benefics, you can have enormous pleasure traveling there. Now, the moon has a full twisty aspect of desire on the 6th house. This is a house of service. You desire to be of service to others. As I've said, you have so much empathy. This is what often gives you the greatest happiness. It's a house of health, and when there are malefics here especially, or there is ill aspect to the moon 12th house, there can be high stress levels, addictive tendencies, and even digestive and food issues. In fact, you can become addicted to virtually anything with this moon aspect here, because you are attempting to stabilize the mind, even daily food items, even sex addiction actually, because the moon is highly sexed in this 12th house. Well placed by sign here, moon can overcome all of these addictive tendencies, and actually you can get help in your workplace as well. This is the actual house of helpers, so you may have difficulties with your work colleagues under affliction, but you can also have many helpers, people who take so much stress away from you, wanting to help you as you always help others. Check out the moon karmas up on your screen right now, as well as the moon chart itself. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to sub below. Goodbye for now. God bless everyone.